matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bradford's Vikings going up against Cousins' Redskins. With that, we'll send you up to FedEx Field and join our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. First carry down for Rob Kelly. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. First offensive series forthcoming. Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver that certainly needs no introduction in this league.
He's truly one of those don't blink guys, because as soon as you do, he's past you and in the end zone and doesn't mind letting you know about it too.
Cousins now on second down. And this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that'll make it third down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Anthony Barr almost defies description at times. He's built like a defensive end, but he plays outside linebacker and does it quite well.
On third down, Cousins. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down. So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. Here's Sherrill's. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Bradford now to throw on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. I'm just looking side by side at Diggs' number, rookie year versus sophomore year a season ago. 52 catches as a rook, 84 last year. But something you pointed out to me, yards per catch is off a bit, isn't it?
It is, and you know, his first year, he was known a little bit more as a big play threat. This past season, adjusting to a new quarterback in Sam Bradford, that number went down by about 3 yards per catch. But he can be an explosive type of a receiver. Look at the last 2 games of the regular season, well over 100 yards in both.
A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back, admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
They'll get 32 yards there. And that leads to a Minnesota first down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now Bradford. That's caught at the 2. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And here's the Redskin defense.
D'Angelo Hall.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Stonewalled on second down. Now let's see what they can do on third and goal from the 2. Bradford on third and 2. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. So now it's the former Redskin, let go by them in 2015, Kai Forbath, on to try the field goal. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly, and he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
It's like a good novel, man. From undrafted free agent to leading rusher for his team, the Rob Kelly story in 2016.
You're right. Matt Jones had 460. He led it by a wide margin, did Kelly, 704. The question I have for you, what do you see from Fat Rob now going forward?
I think that he can be the lead runner for them because he does an excellent job in pass protection, a skill not many backs have.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson, 65 yards. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No. The end zone for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change. At the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record.
First down, Bradford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
Following the interception, Cousins. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline. It's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have two with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium essentially for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played one season as such.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Cousins from the gun on third. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They start the drive with Peterson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Tackle made that time by Chris Baker.
And that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only one on that play.
Bradford. And Rudolph has it left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Third and short yardage. Bradford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Touchdown, Vikings! Adrian Peterson, 49 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Harris to return it. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
Everyone's got four down. All right, here we go.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, Cousins. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Sherrills to return it. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
On second down, Peterson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. On third down, Bradford surveying the field. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now it's Crowder. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Everson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 4. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot. Watching that body.
Cousins now on second down. He's got time in the pocket. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Single receiver. Hey, Jordan Island over there.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And this is caught by Jackson. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. To throw, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second down now after the incompletion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On second down, Cousins again. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Let's go, team. Here we go now. Here we go.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Again, it's Cousins. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now a play fake here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 27 yards that time. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. They pitch it out to Peterson. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Bradford. And Rudolph has it left side. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Bradford now to throw on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
To throw is Bradford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up second down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Bradford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Off the play fake, Cousins. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Jordan Reed has it. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings us up to the 47.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Cousins bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll be first down Washington. So they're operating in the red zone. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From the red zone now, Cousins. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on 2nd down. Cousins now on 2nd down. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Detroit! Here we go now, Barney! No, watch it now, Barney!
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play in good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
On 2nd down, Bradford again. Deep drop. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. To throw. Now a hit in the ball comes out. Bradford's lost it. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Crowder now to return. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now come the Redskins. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. They'll come out in the pistol. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Boy, just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of just been driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
All right, here we go.
He's back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. Third down here. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
No, check. Now let's go. Right there, 54, right there, 54, right. Let's go. No, check, Patriot. Watch the twin.
He'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green,
Back to throw. Over the middle to Garcon. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Pierre Garcon, a 20-yard touchdown. And now the Redskins, if they hit the PAT, they will have the lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Throwing, Bradford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. You got to feel pretty good as a defense.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Bradford on 4th down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher?
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And they'll indeed take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.
3 chains. Ow. Caught up in my, put your head on backwards, then scared off after, engage in laughter about what just happened. Napkins get sent to mammies, is that too graphic? Catch you in traffic, you sitting down.